So before we get started with the AU2 installation, we are going to show you guys the very first step that you're going to have to do. And this is going to tell you if you have to use a key in your remote start installation or not. So here we have the key box that comes in the remote start kit, and we're going to show you guys how to tell if you're going to need this or not. Now this is going to be the rule for all of the AU2 remote start units. So you're going to have this little pigtail in your kit. It's going to have just an OBD2 plug on one end and then the black connector on the other that's going to plug straight into the remote start unit. So what we're going to do is connect the black plug to the remote start box just like this. And then the other end, what we're going to do is come under the dash and you guys are going to plug it right into the OBD2 connector just like that. And this is just temporary. This doesn't stay here. Keep in mind that the lights may flash at this point on the module. It doesn't really matter what the lights do at this point. You guys have to turn the ignition on to get the proper reading to know if you need the key box or not. So after about 10 seconds of it plugged in, you'll then turn the ignition on. You're going to wait for about 5 to 10 seconds. Check the LEDs on here to see if they're flashing red or if they're flashing green. And that will let you guys know if you need the key box or not. So at this point, everything's plugged in. You guys are going to go ahead, turn your ignition on, and then check the lights, and then you can move on with the installation. Now, if your vehicle calls for the key box, we're going to have to take the battery out of one of the keys and put it in the key box. So how you remove the battery is we're going to hit the little metal tab on the back side and pull the metal key out, flip the key over, and you guys are going to see a little push button right here that's black. And all we do is push that in, and then you can maneuver this out, and this is the battery tray. So your battery will be right there. As you can see, I've already removed this, but what you'll do is pop the battery out of the tray, put the tray back in the key, reassemble, and then this is going to go right into the key box just like that. So the metal part with the Audi logo is going to come back away from the wiring, so it looks just like that. And then we're just going to close that up. And then you guys are going to take the long pigtail from the wiring harness that says key and just simply plug it right in, just like that. We're going to show you guys how to install our 100% plug and play remote start kit. Super easy. Right here in the back, you guys are going to have your little pocket panel, and all you got to do is just take a little screwdriver and pop this door down. Now it's hinged right here on the carpet, so you're not actually going to remove this. The BCM that we integrate our wiring harness into is this box right here that has the brown connector and then all the other connectors with the little purple latch. Let's go ahead, grab the wiring harness. We'll show you guys what you need to do before installation, and then we'll show you guys how to plug it in. So here we have the contents of the wiring harness laid out, and we're going to show you guys what needs to be done before it gets installed into the vehicle. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure you guys have the two red connectors plugged into each other here, and the green one is loose. Now, if it's plugged into the green, disconnect it, jump it over to the red. The reds have to be connected in the AU2 vehicles. The green does not go anywhere, so it's going to look just like this. The red's connected, the green is loose. The long pigtail that says key on it, this is going to plug into the key box if you guys need it for your vehicle. So you'll see that we have a black connector here on the end of the pigtail, and then there's also a black port here on the box, so you would just plug that in. Now, if your installation does not call for the key box, that will not be used, so you can discard the box, and then this pigtail right here will just be left loose, as it will not be used in your specific vehicle. These are the BCM connectors, which we're going to show you guys how to plug in over here at the BCM. And the blue connector is used if you guys actually have a push button start in the vehicle. Now, they all have a key port where you can stick the key in and start it. But if you physically have a button that you can push to start the vehicle, this will be used at the BCM, which we're going to tie it into here. So this vehicle has a push button start and a key port. So we will be using the blue one. If you guys only have a key port, you will not use the blue one, so that will get discarded. So let's go ahead, get the camera set up. We're going to flip the light around, and we're going to show you guys how to install the harness here at the BCM. Now on the BCM wiring, we are going to use the black, the brown, and the gray for all vehicles. And if you guys have a push button start, you're going to use the blue one, which in this case, this vehicle actually has the push button start. So we are gonna use black, brown, gray, and the blue one. So we're just gonna go ahead and start with the blue one. And all we do is just disconnect it. We're going to plug it into our wiring harness, just like this. Make sure you push it all the way down, fold the lock tab over, and then you're going to insert the other end of the harness right back into the BCM. Just like that. This little pigtail on the other end of it that has a black connector is going to plug into the remote start unit once we get the rest of the harness plugged in. So we're just gonna go ahead and tuck this out of the way. I'll leave this little pigtail loose because we will be plugging that into the remote start box here in a second. So then we're just gonna go ahead and unplug the black one, the gray one, and the brown one. Now, once you guys have everything disconnected, go ahead and make sure you plug the brown one in last. This has the main power on it, so that way everything is reconnected, and then you apply power to it and everything's all synced up, ready to roll. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the gray one over here on the right. Same process as that blue one. You just plug this in, flop the latch over, and then plug our harness right back into the BCM. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing with the black one. And lastly, we have the brown one. And now that the wiring harness is completely installed, what we're gonna do is refer you guys over to the module programming video. Now keep in mind we have two separate videos for these vehicles because if you use the key box, there is no two-stage programming, which means if you have the key box, you'll be able to do the programming and your remote start will work immediately. If you guys are not using the key box, then you'll have to do the two-stage programming, which means you guys will complete stage 1 programming in the vehicle. You'll pop the remote start unit out and send it back to us to complete the second stage of programming. We'll send it back to you. You'll plug it in, do a couple things, and you're good to go. So jump over to the appropriate programming video for your vehicle, and then we're gonna go ahead and button this one up. Then we'll come back and give you guys a quick demo on how to use the remote start. Please refer to the module programming video for the most up-to-date programming procedure and also for proper connection of the wiring harness to the module. This vehicle requires a two-stage programming process. This means you will install the module into your vehicle, program stage 1, remove the module and send it back to us, and then we will send it back to you after stage 2 is complete. So we got the A5 all finished up. We're gonna give you guys a quick demo on activating the remote start from the factory key fob. So all we do is tap lock 3 times. So you hit 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna go ahead and give it a few seconds and she'll fire up. So there we go, she's running. Now, if you guys have the actual start stop button, you don't have to put the key in the key port. All we do is just hit the brake, pull it out of park, there's our reverse camera, and drive away. On the key port vehicles, you guys are just gonna set this in and push it in 1 click right there to where it locks in. If you go too far, it's gonna turn the car off when you try to drive away. So there we go, put it in reverse and drive away.